What is going on, traders? We're going to try to make this quick. Want you guys to enjoy your weekend. But before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So we are finally here. If you've been following my channel for a while, you already know what's up. You already know what you're looking at. But if you're new to the channel, we are looking at the triple Qs at the price target of 480, which I've mentioned in the last video. And we have been pretty spot on for like the past, I don't even know how many videos. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you still haven't subscribed and you still don't trust your boy, I don't know what else you want from me, okay? I've been spot on, okay? I've been giving you guys nothing but gold. But if we're looking at the triple Qs, and you're new to the channel, we're looking at this trend right here. We're on the daily time frame. We bounced here, we bounced here, we bounced here, bounced, and then we broke through. We started to reject. It acted like a magnet, and then we finally let go of it, and then we started to head back towards this trend, and now we are finally here. So first things first, before we get deep into this, is what do we know about Mondays? If you've been following the channel for a while, you already know the answer to this. But if you're new, we know that Mondays usually mirror Fridays. What does that mean? That means that if Friday is bullish, most of the time, Monday is bullish. If Fridays is bearish, then most of the time, Monday is bearish. And majority of the day was mostly consolidation, at least on the stock side. But as far as the futures, they've been going up. So it's safe to say that based on historical data that Monday should be bullish. Now, I'm not expecting any rally to the upside or anything. Maybe we just consolidate on Mondays. That's usually how Mondays go. They're pretty boring from the long run. But overall, that's what I'm expecting for Monday, that we see a little bit more upside or at least consolidation to the upside, okay? So we're finally at 480. It doesn't necessarily have to happen right away as far as a sell-off. We can head to 482, 483, maybe fake out and then break down, or we just have some type of blow off top scenario and we continue to go higher. That is on the table, but I'm not going to entertain it until it actually happens. So as far as the sell-off goes, when can it happen? Well, if we're looking at what's happening on Monday, we don't really have anything special as far as I'm concerned. We have Empire State Manufacturing Index. That could be the start of a sell-off, I guess, but I don't think that will have such a huge impact that we start seeing a sell-off, really. I think if anything can start it, it would be this core retail sales data on 8:30 at 8:30 Eastern on Tuesday. But again, I don't know, okay? I don't know what can actually cause a major sell-off. And when I say, and this is why I'm saying major, because if you guys look at the chart on the triple Qs, let's actually go to the 4 hour. Hopefully we can see these gaps on the 4 hour. We cannot. So we're going to go back to the daily time frame. We could be looking at a move all the way back down to 460. 461, between 461 465 range. Okay, that is the move we could be potentially looking at next week on the triple Qs. First things first, we're looking at this gap fill at around 467, 468. We break below 467, then chances are we're heading towards 465. Now that is a pretty significant move, okay? So majority of next week could be looking bearish unless we get rid of this move like all in one day, which I really doubt is going to happen. That's a flash crash basically. Okay, so we are not looking for that type of move, okay? And me, honestly, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I would love this. Okay, we've made tons of money to the upside in the Discord, but I would love for us to have a sell-off because I would love to get in some great opportunities, and I've shown you guys these opportunities in past videos such as Apple, Microsoft. I would love to see those opportunities start to come to light. Really would, especially Apple. Oh my gosh, especially Apple. You already know. Okay, so as far as the triple Qs go, I am looking at a retest as low as 461, max 465. Okay, somewhere around here. Let's actually draw that out so you guys can get like a better view or a good picture of it. So maybe we consolidate Monday. We start hitting this gap here, retest around 475, and then we start heading lower. Okay, 465, 461, somewhere around this range, and we retest the supply and demand zone. Do I think we're going to go lower than that? I don't, but anything's possible. I'm not, some Houdini type of trader or anything like that. It is possible, but right now that is my main focus. As long as we hold 460, still remain overall bullish in the market. Okay, so we could be looking at somewhat of a sell-off. That is how I got my price target of 480. Right now we're at that level. I think we're going to see some type of sell-off, maybe starting Tuesday. Okay, maybe starting Tuesday. Now, unless some magical news or unicorn news, I don't know, some war a virus comes out the sky over the weekend, I don't think we're going to see something crazy happening on Monday. Again, there is news Monday, but I don't think this will have such a huge influence for us to really just start selling off badly. Maybe it starts trickling in, but other than that, yeah, I don't think this is enough. Okay, all right, that's my thoughts on it. I could be wrong, so be cautious on Monday. Now, what is my plan? So as far as our plan in the Discord, I already have hedges on Apple puts. We have 200 puts. We got into 200 puts on Apple at around 215 when it was at 215. So up here we got into 200 puts in the Discord. So that is my hedge position. They were very cheap. They were like, I don't even know, like $26 or something like that. Let me actually check the Discord. I'm gonna have to go far back. Oh yeah, congratulations if you took this Adobe play for the earnings call. Pfft, that was so easy. Oh my god. I'm gonna make a video on how you can predict earnings. It's pretty simple. But other than that, yeah, Apple puts right here. So far we're up on them about 70% on them. Well, at least I am, because I got like 10 contracts. I probably will add more depending on how Monday looks. But yeah, right now I'm treating Apple as a hedge against all our calls in the Discord. Most of our calls are up except for in phase, but we'll talk about that in Sunday's video. But other than that, that's pretty much my plan. Apple puts, and then I'll probably be looking at triple Q puts as well, depending on how we open on Monday. And those triple Q puts will be treated as a hedge, all right, against the calls, all right. And otherwise, that's my plan. Okay, I don't have anything complicated or anything like that. Most of our plays are up, besides in phase. We're fine. Okay, at least I think we're fine. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at as far as the triple Qs. Okay, if we just so happen to break higher, I would just remain cautious at that point. Can it be a break off top? Sure. Am I counting on it? No. Would I look to trade that? No, absolutely not. I would just hold on to what I got and just hope they benefit off of it. But otherwise, that's what I'm looking at. It's important to note that the fear and greed index is in fear territory. That's crazy. That's insane. So I don't know what's going on with this market. The market is weird right now. So I mean, I guess that can confirm a potential blow off top. But again, let's just not entertain that idea until it actually happens, if it happens, right? NQ. So I was saying this in the Discord. NQ was just climbing up after hours. It looked like it was trying to hit 20K. I accidentally erased my trend line, but the trend that I had on the NQ is going to be sloppy because I'm kind of like rushing it. Oh yeah, that's very sloppy. Yeah, right here. So it's not perfect. I'm sorry, it's not perfect. I just rushed it. You just watched me rush it. But otherwise, NQ is pretty close to the top, people. That's actually a little bit off. Here we go. Yeah, so same thing with NQ. All right, it's pretty close. I mean, it's right there, guys. Let's zoom in so you guys see that I'm not making this stuff up. All right. Now let's zoom out so you see that I'm not making this up. And you're like, what the heck? Where did that trend come from? You bounced here. You bounced here. You bounced here. You bounced. You broke through. It's the same thing we were looking at the triple Qs. You broke through. You started to act like a magnet and then rejected, and then we're heading back up there. It's the same thing. Okay. So if I had to guess, if no news comes out over the weekend, nothing crazy over the weekend, we could just maybe consolidate a little bit higher. We break 20K, everybody gets all happy, and then a bull trap is set, and then we sell off. Okay, the lowest we can go. Okay, so our first target is the gap. Okay, first target is the gap. You want to see us break below, if you're bearish and you want to see us break below 19,700 to start filling this gap all the way down to about 19,620. We'll just say 19,600, okay? 19,600. After that, you're looking at a move as low as 19,100, 19,050, give or take, 19,030. Wherever, just mark the supply and demand zone on your charts, okay? All right, we don't. I'm not trying to do super pinpoint levels here. That's why we have supply and demand zones. That's why they exist. All right, but other than that, that's what I'm looking at. Why this area right here? As you guys can see, we consolidated in this area, and then once we broke out, we actually went further to the upside. You guys can see it here. Here we rejected. We rejected here as well. Then we broke in, consolidated, and then we finally broke out. So this is an important supply and demand zone. Their levels before that is basically your gap fill levels. Okay, so mark these gap fill levels on your charts. What do I tell you guys? I tell you guys that gaps have very, very, very strong support and resistance. Okay, do not take gaps lightly. All right, so that's what I have for the NQ. Okay, you guys see it here. I mean, we're pretty much right there at the trend. All right, so I imagine if anything, the market may tease 20K. It gets above 20K a bit, and then I don't know, something comes out the sky and sell off. Okay, that's what I have for the NQ. That's really all I have as far as the NQ and triple Qs. We're looking at the SPY now. So SPY, I mean, it's the same thing, guys. Nothing really special here. It's the same thing across the board. SPY is pretty much close. Now, I did tell you guys I have a price target of 550 on the SPY. So if anything, I think that can happen on Monday, where we just hurry up and get it out the way. It's still on the table, all right? So if you're wondering how I'm getting for 550 and you still, you're still not sold on how I got it off triple Qs and the NQ, this is gonna be sloppy, okay? I'm sorry, I did it last minute and I had it up before, and for some reason, Thinkorswim, I keep saying Thinkorswim, TradingView just decided, yeah, get rid of that, bro, and yeah. Well, that's off. But anyway, 550. All right. Now, the SPY can go higher than 550, but right now I'm not counting on that. I think if anything, NQ and triple Qs are going to lead the way, and the SPY is just going to follow along with them. All right. That's what I'm looking at. Can we go a little bit higher Monday? Absolutely. I think we can at least see 545. At least. All right. That's what I'm looking at as far as the SPY. Can we go higher than 545? Absolutely. But after 550, I don't see any higher than that, at least for the short term, at least for next week. Okay. Overall, I'm still bullish on the market. I think we're going to run all the way into big tech earnings, and then that's when you're going to see the real sell-off. Okay. That's my personal opinion. I genuinely think that the market is going to continue to run higher until big tech earnings. But right now, we're very overextended. The market needs to cool off. We've been running nonstop. It's time for a cool off. Okay, that's just what I think. All right, so your key levels here as far as the SPY is pretty much this gap fill at around 539. You could say 540 as your psych level, but me personally, I like 539. After 539, you're looking at a move to 537, 536.9, give or take. After that, you're looking at a move all the way towards 530. Well, you'll say 535 your psych level, then 533, and then after that, all right, you guys get the point. Your supply and demand zone is pretty much at 525, okay? 525. 529 is your key level, of course, but 525 is where your major supply and demand zone is, and that's where you want to see a bounce. So if we do just so happen to have a sell-off come next week, this is the move I'm looking at. And it doesn't have to happen from this point. We can just go higher a little bit and then sell off. But if it does happen, this is what I would want to see, something like this. And then we go higher, okay? So it's a pretty significant sell-off, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. What can cause that? I have no clue, okay? But something's coming, I guess, okay? Something is coming, and we're just basing that off the NQ and triple Qs, what we're seeing off the NQ and triple Qs, okay? ES. Oh, yeah, I kept it here, okay? So, yeah, this is why I was saying that we could potentially go higher, at least as far as the SPY goes, and that's why I'm saying that as far as NQ goes, that we can tease above 20K, because we still have room on the ES, and we still have room on the SPY. So, again, what have we said? Mondays mirror Fridays, so everything is correlating. It's correlating. So if today was bullish, which is Friday, then it's safe to assume, based off historical data, that Monday is bullish. And if we have more room to go up on the ES, then it's safe to assume that NQ is going to tease above 20K, and then we potentially see a sell-off. We still have plenty of more room here. All right, plenty of more room on the ES and the SPY. Okay, so we can see more upside. We can. Is that considered a blow off top? I don't know. All right, but we'll talk about that if it does happen. But that's what I'm looking at for the ES. You have your levels for the SPY. I don't think you need levels for the ES, but if you just so happen to, your key level here is just basically this gap. It's not a huge gap. It's like a Well, actually, yeah, you zoom in, it is. Okay. It's a significant gap, and I told you guys the key level here is 5,480. After 5,480, you're looking at a move to 5,050, and then after 5,050, you're looking at a move all the way down to 5,400 and 5,380. Okay, those are your key levels as far as the ES. That is what you want to pay attention to on the ES. Russell, IWM. So Russell is at a key supply and demand zone right now. It needs to hold 198. Okay, it just needs to hold this 198 area right here, and this could be a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern if it just so happens to hold and go higher from here. Okay, so we need Russell to hold 198. If it doesn't hold 198, it can get pretty ugly, and it can start heading as low as 190. Okay, 190. All right, it can start heading all the way down here. Your first target will be like 194, but I imagine at that point you'll just want to form somewhat of a double bottom here, and you'll start heading towards this guy all the way down here towards 190. Okay, and that will be my thoughts on the Russell. So you want to see 198 be held. Okay, that's what you want to see. I will say the Russell is very sensitive to news more than any other indice. I mean, futures and commodity, whatever indices, is very sensitive to it. All right, so pay attention to that. And that's what I have for the Russell. I don't have much else. As far as upside goes, I mean, you want to see it reclaim 200. Obviously, after that, you're looking at a move above, to 203. After 203, you're looking at a move to 204.5. And then your 205 will be your psych level, and then 207. As far as downside goes, it gives up 198. I think it's just pretty much cooked from that point, and it's just going to start heading towards these guys all the way. My mouse is acting up. All the way over here. All right? So that's what I'm looking at for the Russell. And last but not least, because I want to make this video quick, we'll get more in depth come Sunday's video. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's kind of throwing me for a loop here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Okay, this trend right here, you bounced here, you bounced here, you bounced here, and you're currently heading there now. So I told you guys in the previous video that I think 65K, 64K range is a good buying opportunity for Bitcoin. I still think it is. It's just a matter of how the market is looking right now. Okay, so me personally, this is what I'm doing for myself. I will look to the dollar cost average here at around 65K, 64K, and then pray for the best. All right, that's what I'm looking at as far as Bitcoin. So it can bounce off here and then confirm this ascending triangle. But as you guys can see, Bitcoin tried multiple times to break out of here, and it failed twice. So that's room for concern there. I will say that much. So if it gives up this trend, mark this trend on your charts. If it gives up this trend, then you should be worried. All right, there is room for concern. But other than that, that's really all I have for this video. I will give you guys more in-depth video come Sunday. Important thing to note, Dow Jones. NQ has to catch up with the Dow Jones, or Dow Jones has to catch up with the NQ. Same thing with the Russell. So either NQ drops with the Dow Jones, towards the Dow Jones, where the Dow Jones is, or the Dow Jones catches up and goes up with the NQ. Right now, it's looking like the NQ wants to catch up with the Dow Jones. All right, they don't leave each other for too long. All right, same thing with the Russell. They don't stay far from each other for too long. So one or the other has to catch up with each other. So that's a little note you need to keep in your head. All right, they don't move separate from each other for too long. Eventually, one has to catch up with the other. All right, that's all I have for this video. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it. Like, subscribe, comment, and until the next video, have a good one, traders.